Hey guys, so this is going to be a short video on something pretty cool on these here. These are the new Gemfan Floppy Proppy. Yeah, I think Floppy Proppy 4019 are so folding 4-inch props, and obviously these are a perfect match for something like this Flywheel Explorer here, so a 4-inch long-range platform, simply because they make this thing even more easy to carry around and put in a backpack. So I'm really stoked to see that these are on the market now and to test them. To be fully transparent, this is not a sponsored video, so this wasn't sponsored by Gemfan or Banggood or anything else. I bought these props and paid for them, so not a sponsored video here in this case. And since these props do not only come in a bi-blade version, but also in a tri-blade version, I put this here on my Freestyle Recon for FR prototype to see how they perform on these high-powered 1804 3500 kV motors. So let's see if they are any good for freestyle and for long range and how they perform. Now, honestly, the conditions I'm going to test this in aren't exactly ideal. As you can see, there's quite a lot of wind outside. It's quite terribly cold here, 1 degree Celsius. So this is actually quite far from ideal, but let's see how they perform under these conditions and see if they can handle it. In any case, even if they perform slightly worse than, let's say, the regular 4-inch Gemfan props, I think it's a pretty big advantage to have these folding props, especially for me that likes to carry these drones around and put them in a backpack. So let's get them in the air and let's see how they perform on the long range platform and on the freestyle 4-inch platform. Okay, everything is ready to go. Let's test the freestyle version with the tri-blades first and see what happens here. Alright, I'm recording. Now, I still have quite a lot of frame in view here, so the frame of the quad is in view of the camera. This will be solved in the production version, obviously. But here on this prototype you can still see it, and now first impression, what? Pretty smooth. Taking it slow, but I'm really literally not noticing all the wind outside. It's pretty surprising. I mean, you can feel that they are pretty low pitch. Seems to be a 19 pitch. It's very, very low. But I mean, they feel really locked and in control for sort of cruising around here. Let's give them a bit more throttle. So they do lack a bit of punch, obviously, because they are so low pitch. So if I really, do a full throttle punch out, it is quite noticeably less than on the, especially than on the Gemfan bi-blade version. I always forget how they are called. The 4020 26, I think. 26 or 23 or 24, something like this. I mean, I just mean the 4-inch T-mount bi-blade that Gemfan doesn't make, but on the other end, this is really nicely in control. No prop wash. Let's maybe test for some prop wash. Let's make a drop. Not a lot, and this is a stock tune. Complete Betaflight stock tune. So this doesn't really, I mean, for freestyling, I think it lacks a bit of punch. But the low pitch is very nice for cruising. It's very much in control. As you can see, flying close to the ground as I'm doing it here. It's very, very easy. We're at 3.7 volts, so really assessing how efficient they are and how the flight times will be is very difficult because it's so cold outside, and it really does affect battery performance. So it's quite hard to tell what the flight time would actually be under better conditions. it's really fun to cruise around really close to the ground with these props because they are so in control. I think I touched the ground. But let's say the punch is still reasonable. So it doesn't, it's not like it's unusable. It's just really a low pitch prop. But the nice thing is even on full throttle punch outs like this one, no vibrations, no prop wash, no anything, no issues with running these on a stock tune. So I'm surprised how well balanced these props actually are for being something, puzzled together out of several pieces. It's actually quite impressive how well they perform. So I would say overall conclusion, yeah, maybe it lacks a little bit of punch for having fun in freestyle, and especially for racing they are way too low pitched. But for, if you like to fly proximity, if you're doing freestyle in a closer space, this is actually quite good. Because they are so smooth, impressively well balanced, and make your quad feel very in control and very easy to control. Very nice throttle curve here on these 3500 kV 1804s on the 4-inch tri-blade. Alright, that landed. Alright, so next in line, the Explorer long range platform on the bi-blades. I mean, obviously I chose the bi-blades on the Explorer because bi-blades do tend to be more efficient, and I don't really need the extra thrust generated by the third blade. So let's see how these perform. Alright, don't have any satellites locked, but that's not too bad. We're recording, so let's go. Very smooth again. Feels like the quad is moving slightly faster. It's interesting, since these are supposed to be the same pitch. I'm not sure if I'm feeling slight vibrations here. Am I? No, not really. Maybe a bit while cruising. I mean, it might be that the tune now, since the Explorer does come with a custom tune, that the tune now is slightly off. Seems like I have slight wobbles if I'm simply cruising. Yeah, I do have slight wobbles, but probably this is because the tune will be slightly off, maybe? No, wait. It's probably the wind.
Telemetry lost.
I think it's the wind. I didn't notice that too much on the Freestyle version because it's got way more power with the bigger motors. But here on the tiny Explorer with its small motors and overall it's a bit lighter, I think that is the reason why it's got a bit more of a hard time fighting the wind, and you might notice a bit of vibration coming through. Because as you can see, let me just show you. As you can see on this little ribbon here, it's really windy. It's really seriously windy, and this is what you're seeing here. And obviously a more powerful quad like the Recon 4 FR with its 1804s is going to have an easier time compensating compared to something with 1404 motors and much lower kV. So these are 2750 kV versus 3500 kV. But again, this is going to be more efficient because of the lower kV and the smaller motors. And as a very small long-range platform, it's obviously not meant to be flown in heavy winds. But despite that, I would say it's still performing quite reasonably. Alright, now let's focus a bit more on the props. Do a little punch out. It's actually not too bad. We're gonna, as you would expect, nothing spectacular here. Still a decent punch. So what I'm doing here is really a full throttle punch out. Seems to work fine. And I mean, you can easily tell that this is a more efficient platform. We're still at 3.8 volts now. And 3 minutes in. It's an 854S. So I guess probably, even under these pretty bad conditions here, windy, cold, I guess we'll probably be able to go up to something like 7 or 8 minutes at least. But again, very nice props, still very well balanced. Because these vibrations we're seeing here, maybe in the footage, this is really the winds, not the props. It would get worse on full throttle punch outs, and here really nothing happens. As you can see, full throttle, not a lot of vibration that are caused by the props. So this is quite impressive. A Gemfan. And again, this is not a sponsored video. I paid for these props. It's quite impressive that Gemfan managed to have these props assembled out of a total of 4 injection molded parts, be that well balanced. And for me, I think I already know, after flying for a few minutes, this is going to be my standard go-to prop for the Explorer. I see if it's maybe, because it's almost in batch production or is in batch production, if it's hopefully not too late to equip the Recon 4 long range version, so not the FR, the long range version with the foldable bi-blades. Not sure about putting the foldable tri-blades on the Freestyle version because I think they do lack a bit of punch, but I have to think about this. But here on this long range version, absolutely this is the go-to prop, and this is what I'll hopefully be able to put even on the first batches, but if that's not possible anymore because they are in production on the later batches of the Recon 4 FR, not FR, Recon 4, which is basically very similar to the Explorer, simply because it makes this even more convenient to carry around with you as a small long-range drone, and it's really what this is supposed to be used for. Alright, so overall conclusion. Honestly, I think this is the absolute go-to prop for anything that is in this 4-inch long-range format, especially the bi-blade version here, the Floppy Proppy f4019 bi-blade. This is what I think is best for your, MicroLongRange, Flywoo Explorer, or whatever you have style of quad. I will try to get this on the Recon 4. I hope I can get it on the first batch, but in any case it will get on later batches because, I mean, this is just so super practical. They do perform great, they are very well balanced. The balance is actually better than I would expect from something folding and made out of several parts. And it's just super practical. I mean, look how much smaller the quad is in footprint. If I fold these in, it's just perfect to carry around, to take with you, while being on vacation, hiking, whatever you're doing, and that is exactly what this quad is made for. About the Freestyle, the tri-blade version here on a Freestyle quad, well, I'm not 100% sure. I wouldn't use the tri-blade on the long-range 4-inch format, the micro-long-range format, because tri-blade tends to be less efficient. I mean, I didn't test this now in comparison, but usually I'm expecting these to be less efficient, so I wouldn't use these there. For Freestyle, I don't know, they are a bit low pitch, so you have to really like this. If you like low pitch props, they are well balanced. They have, decent punch for how much pitch they have, but I think I would want something with a bit more pitch and a bit more punch than the tri-blades have here on the Freestyle platform, so I'm probably not going to put this on the Freestyle platform here. For racing, obviously, these are a no-no because they are way too low pitch, so maybe if Gemfan could make a higher pitch version of this for racing, I think it would be quite cool, because for racing these obviously have the advantage of being able to take some hard hits without breaking, probably. I mean, I could test this, but I would say my favorite here is the bi-blade version, because it just matches these 4-inch long-range platforms like the Explorer so well. Alright guys, hope you found this video interesting and useful, and of course don't forget to hit that subscribe button here down below to support the channel. Bye guys!